Okay, so moving on to some needle lace. Now for this you're going to need a little bit of wire. This is garden wire, because I don't currently have anything else at the moment that's strong enough for this. You can use jeweler's wire, but it needs to be quite a thick-ish wire for that. So draw out your line and cut your wire to fit, roughly. So about there. I'm not too concerned about the ends on this, but you'd fold the ends in and make sure they're tidy before you move on. So make sure you filled your shape. Okay, so you're going to start with a contrasting colour to what you actually want to use. And you're going to use couching stitches, so essentially small straight stitches just to hold it into place. It doesn't matter what colour these stitches are, you could use some beading wire, something clear if you wanted to, because you're not going to need these in the end, you're going to remove these when you're finished. So just kind of couch it down. Most of the time you don't need many couching stitches because you're not going to be deforming the wire if it's a strong enough wire to start with. If you're using a jeweler's wire or something a little bit softer, then you might need to think more about your couching stitches, but I'm good. So just going to stitch that down just so it's held into place and held into shape again if you need it. Time with needle lace, you're not actually attaching this to this part of the fabric. It's normally done somewhere else and then placed onto your work. In this case I want to just be able to lift this leaf back and give it some life. So I'm sewing through at the bottom because I want the bottom bit attached. But if you don't want your bottom attached, then you just need to loop your stitch onto the wire itself, so there's no connection going between it and the fabric. So first thing you need to do is some blanket stitch, and you're just binding the wire like that and giving something for your other stitches to hang on to, essentially. So making a loop and just pulling the needle through. I'm using the back end, I'm using the eye end of the needle, because as I said, I'm not going through the fabric. So one more, I think. I don't want this to flap back completely, and I want to be able to see the workings of it, so I'm going to stop about there and stitch down in order to close that off and to stop it from completely peeling back. Now if you're particularly concerned about it, and if you're not going to be covering this end with anything, then stitch it straight down all the way around, cover all the wire. That's entirely up to you what you want to do. I'm just going to stick in a stitch at the edge here. So now we need to start the weaving, the lacing, whichever you want to call it. So again, I'm going to use the same stitch, but this time I'm going to catch one of these loops here and just come down. So I'm creating another loop. Essentially it's knitting, but slightly more complicated. It looks better if you have fairly regular spacing. So I'm just coming through my little ridge of stitching here and catching the loop like that. You want to keep these relatively small, we don't want them too big. When I'm coming to the top here, these two come together, I'm going to join together. You can't see what I'm doing. So I'm going to join together these two ends and then reverse this pattern. So again, catching the loop and then coming down like that. I'm just going to keep catching a loop and then coming down. If you make your stitching around about the same place every time, then again you'll get a nice even weave. Here I'm going to actually anchor the bottom of this, so I'm going to make this loop, anchor here, just again because I'm folding this back to this point. If you want it to be completely free so you can move it somewhere else, don't anchor it, just keep going. But if you don't anchor it, you need to hold on to the tension and keep that, maintain that tension all the way through, because otherwise it will just spring back and you won't know where you're stitching next. So always keep your, always keep your loose with a stitch in your hand like that, so that you're maintaining this tension. Don't sew through the fabric, just sew through the loop of thread. Now I'm just going to anchor down here. Just a couple of stitches here. Just to finish that off. Okay, now comes the slightly dangerous part, removing your couching. So I'm just going to remove the knots from behind here. Like that. And just need to lift the wire and then bend it into whatever shape you're looking for. And just keep pulling out your couching. So it's no longer really holding it down. Oh, there you go. So, just for the sake of neatness, I'm going to trim that off without pulling it all away. So that is needle lace, and you can shape it however you want. Give it some life, give it some movement. That's it, done.